Hello, everyone. My name is Cherie, and if you're new to my channel, I welcome you here. This is my very first time truly doing a full live stream, so please do bear with me. I have absolutely no idea exactly what I'm going to say, but what I do hope is that whatever it is that we do discuss today, that it will be something that you can take away and truly get something out of it. In 2023, I believe it was January, I decided that I was going to open a painted tree booth. In the prior year, I had gone to other painted tree locations and looked around to see if that would be actually something that I wanted to do. And I was interested, but never really took the plunge until one day I decided to go to a bookstore. This is where all things start for me. I went to a Books a Million bookstore to look up some books about business, and directly beside the Books a Million bookstore, there was a painted tree opening. And I was like, I want to be in that space. So I impromptu just got into the space and began doing painted tree. And here is a picture of what the painted tree was looking like once it was all said and done. Hold on one second. See if I can bring this up for you. So that is what the painted tree was looking like once it was all said and done. It took a tremendous amount of work to make that happen, and it would not have been possible without all of my friends and family members helping me to put it together. I do have two videos here on YouTube about the space, and if you have not already seen those videos, then I definitely would recommend going and checking those out. The reason why I bring up the painted tree space is not just because of painted tree. I think that all things do happen for a reason, and one of the reasons why uh, the painted tree happened was so that I could get monetized on YouTube. Because prior to getting into the painted tree space, I was not monetized on YouTube. I got monetized in May of 2023, just a few months after opening the painted tree space. And in the corner there is a image. In the image that you see there on screen in the corner, you might see something hanging on the wall that has a QR code that went to my YouTube page, and people subscribed from there. So I think that through being able to advertise my YouTube channel, that I was able to get monetization through having a painted tree space and having so many eyeballs on the code that I had up there so that people could get to my channel directly from their phones. I'm not quite sure how many people were led to my channel via that way, but I think that it may have been quite a few, and that is part of what helped me to get YouTube monetization. And that was one of the main takeaways from there, because I really did not make a profit from being in painted tree, because people really did just walk around the store and really didn't buy much of anything. And everybody was selling the exact same thing inside of painted tree, because the company had a policy where you could only sell certain things inside of the store. So I understand having a policy. At the same time, it kind of put everybody into carrying a lot of the same items. And that was a very difficult space to make it in, though I do know that there are some who have been successful in the space. And that is one of those other things, because I am very grateful and thankful for having the opportunity to be inside of the painted tree space, and I never would discourage anyone from becoming a part of something like that. At the same time, I feel that it is very important to recognize where the points of improvement are, and what problems you had in a space, so that you can understand what you can do to make it better, or figure out that maybe that particular space is not for you and move on to do something else. And that is exactly what I did, because in December of 2023, after receiving my YouTube monetization and being in the space for a year, I decided to close the painted tree space and to mainly focus on my YouTube channel. Now, the focus on the YouTube channel this year has really been doing some sewing machine reviews and trying to solve problems for my subscribers, because I feel that it is very important as a business owner to try to find problems within whatever area you're working in and work to find solutions, because if you're having the problem, then so are your clients. And as business owners, we are really here to help others solve their problems. I think that I want to take a step back on the YouTube channel and just show the progress that has been made in 2024, because YouTube today sent out a letter to its monetized subs showing its monetized creators, showing what their progress was over the year. And I have gained a lot of subscribers this year. And also, my most popular video was how to embroider larger than 4x4 on a 4x4 embroidery machine. And that was a video that I created a few years ago before I even got monetized. And at the time that I got monetized, you had to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And that was so hard to get to. And I would not have gotten there without my subs. And I'm very grateful and thankful for that. Now, I did say, hold on one second here. Let me see if I can actually show you where I actually have come from, because I think it's important to recognize that. So here is what my channel was looking like shortly before I went into Painted Tree. I had 777 subscribers, and I made sure to take a picture of that on my phone just so that I could have it to look back on at a later date. I didn't initially start out my YouTube channel with the goal of becoming monetized. I actually had a blog running where I blogged something every single week, and then I figured that I would make a few YouTube videos just to see how it would do, and never really expected anything out of it, but it really did well. So I decided to go in that direction. And this year I really have not done too many blog articles, but I'm hoping that next year I will grow my blog and work on blog articles again this year in conjunction with bringing out YouTube content. I wanted to show you where things came from, because I think it's very important to recognize progress, because it takes a lot of hard work behind the scenes to make something happen. Things just do not happen overnight. And I think that a lot of content creators are types who just show the end result and not what it took to get to that point. And I don't like to do that, because I like to show progressions of things so that others can understand that things do take hard work, and so that others will not be discouraged when they see that their progress may be slower than others. Because some people take a year to get monetized, others take 3-4 years to get monetized, and sometimes maybe even longer, because everybody is different. And I don't think that monetization should always be the primary goal of having a YouTube channel, because things change in a heartbeat. You never know what's going to happen from one moment to the next, and you never know what video is going to take off and what video is not. You also do not know what the future holds in general. So we cannot really rely on that, though it can be a beautiful goal to have a YouTube channel, and I'm very grateful for the channel. At the same time, I want people to recognize that it takes a lot of hard work, and you never know what's going to happen from moment to moment. So you just cherish the moment that you're in and continue to move forward. I thought that I would come on here tonight primarily to talk a little bit about some of the struggles of having an embroidery business and some of the struggles of being in business in general that a lot of people do not talk about. And I'm not sure why that is. I'm just not really sure why that is. So, in the world of embroidery, everybody says to get the biggest embroidery window possible that you can afford. And the overwhelming majority of those that go into embroidery finance a machine and make payments on that machine. But for me personally, I don't necessarily think that that is the best way to go, because you never know what's going to happen. You may finance an embroidery machine and then a few months later lose your job and not be able to make the payments. Or you may finance an embroidery machine and find that the business is not growing as quickly as you would like it to grow, and then you're not making a profit because you're busy paying off the machine rather than gaining a profit. So for me, the one of the reasons why I created the how to embroider larger than 4x4 and a 4x4 embroidery machine was because so many plug the 5x7 machines and larger, even larger embroidery windows, when there are so many people out there who only have enough cash to purchase a 4x4 machine. And it's kind of a situation of where you feel that your business will not be as successful because you don't have as big of an embroidery machine as the next person, or an embroidery machine that goes fast as the next person. And I don't necessarily think that that is the way to think about things, because your success is in your creativity, not in what machine that you have. And hello, everyone in the chat. I see you there. I definitely see you. I hope that you all are having a wonderful day today. I'm just talking right off the top of my head, so I'm sorry if I'm not acknowledging you automatically in the chat. Anyhow, what I was saying was that it's not the wisest thing in the world necessarily to finance a machine at all times. I know I do so many reviews on sewing machines, and everyone's always looking to upgrade to the next best thing. It is a good idea to upgrade your machine if you cannot successfully complete a job without upgrading. Otherwise, it's just trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I think that the industry as a whole kind of encourages people to continue upgrading machines because you feel that that machine will do something better that the machine that you currently have will not do, and that it will give you a competitive edge by doing so. But that's not always the case. And I wish I had had more sight of that before I purchased the Janome MB7 that you see in the thumbnail. While the MB7 is a wonderful machine and I do enjoy it, and I do have a video here on my channel about the machine, I do enjoy the machine and I have not had any problems out of it in the time that I've gotten it. However, I wish that I had waited rather than purchasing the machine, because it was an incredibly expensive machine, and the painted tree did not go as I had hoped, and it became a little bit of a burden to have to continue to pay for the machine when the painted tree didn't go as expected. So for that reason, I say to stick with a smaller machine, and then as you grow and as you need a machine in order to complete the task that you need to complete it, then you upgrade. Then you upgrade. Otherwise, it's just a thing of keeping up with the Joneses. And sometimes I kind of question myself with making so many product review videos on different sewing machines, because I don't want to be the person that encourages someone to upgrade to a brand new machine when they already have one. I know that machines do all sorts of things, but really it is about your creativity and not necessarily about the machine itself. So I know there are lots of shiny new things out there, and I really do love going to the sewing machine dealerships and looking at different sewing machines and trying them out even. But to upgrade all the time is not necessarily the best thing, especially in the economic circumstances that we're under. And I have done quite a few videos this year about the economy, and I have been hearing so much about the TikTok, and it really is going away, isn't it, guys? It really is. I'm just pausing here to reflect on it because so many people who started out platforms over on TikTok have now lost out on their business, and they're basically having to start over from scratch when their customer base was primarily built on TikTok. And YouTube is not a platform that is absolved from that, because any platform can disappear. So we really cannot place all our eggs in one basket in the type of society that we're living in, where technology and where everything advances and changes so quickly. You really have to be able to change on the drop of a dime. And that is why I started out the video with speaking so much about YouTube, but in understanding that monetization is great, but it's still not everything, because things change so frequently. So the two things that I've said so far are that we should not get expensive machines that we cannot afford just to keep up with the Joneses, because it will get you in debt, and then debt is never a good thing. And also, while YouTube monetization is a wonderful thing, it is not something that we should really totally rely upon, because at the drop of a dime, anything can change. And while, yes, I am very grateful and thankful for YouTube monetization, and very grateful and thankful for my embroidery machine, I realize where I made mistakes at and where I need to go from here moving forward. And I hope that my mistakes can be of help and assistance to someone. And you guys in the chat, please let me know if you do have any questions or anything that you would like to ask me, because I am here. Okay, there is one other thing that I have just thought about, and that is your policies. So if you are starting an embroidery business, or you have an embroidery business, I would hope that you have a policy for your customers. And I do have a policy over on my website, but most of my business comes through word of mouth, and hardly anybody ever goes over to my website. And at times that can be problematic. So I think it's very important that you have an invoice with all of that information, or a link to all of that information within it. And to be very careful about how you write out your invoices, and put what the order is, excuse me, in great detail. Because if you do not, you could run into some issues, like people wanting to return things. And once somebody tries to return an item that is custom made, that item cannot be resold because it has a custom name on it. And a lot of times it's not your mistake that you made. A lot of times the customer made a mistake, but will still try to get money back as if it is somewhere like Amazon. But your business is not Amazon. Your business is a custom made to order type of service that you are providing. And it's not just a product, but your time and your energy is being put into producing a product for the end user. So you really have to have uh, really ironclad, policies in place, and make sure that your invoices are really well written out. That you, like, if you communicated with a client via email or via phone, make sure that you write out verbatim what they said that they wanted. So that way, if anything is disputed at a later date, you can just go back to the invoice. and not just go back to the text message or to the voicemail that was left. And that's just one other word of something that I learned or dealt with in this year. Even though I did have policies, some things just were not totally out there on the invoice, though they were in written form already. So that's just something that I would put out there. And I am giving pause here in a moment of silence because I'm just trying to think of anything else this year that has really crossed my mind in terms of anything, content creation or business or anything of that nature that might be of help to you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, here's another thing: buying versus using what you already have. A lot of times we are so accustomed to going out and purchasing whatever we need in order to complete a project, but a lot of times we can repurpose things around the house in order to create the same project. And sometimes um, it is very helpful, and you can even be more creative by just using what you already have rather than purchasing something new. My goals for 2025 are to work on my blog a lot more and to make more content that solves problems, because there are so many problems out there and so many videos made that simply state what the problems are rather than actually coming up with solutions. And I'm hoping to provide solutions to other people through my videos in some way, shape, or form. I'll also say that another one of my goals is to find a new sewing table. My sewing table is one of those vintage sewing tables. It had a Singer 66 inside of it, and that table is getting on my nerves at this point because all of the machines that I currently have in my collection are flat top. So I need to either work something out with that existing table or make a new one. I thought about purchasing a new one, but once I looked at the prices, I was like, heck no, I really don't want to spend hardly any money. So it's likely that I will have to make my own. I kind of would like to reflect a little bit on what we have seen in the marketplace this year as far as machines are concerned. Uh, a lot of the machines have been very computerized. But we have also seen a few straight stitch machines that are mostly mechanical with only a few computerized functions on them. I think that the straight stitch machines are answering a desire in the marketplace, which is to have simplicity. However, the computerized machines also are answering another uh, facet of the market that would like to see advancements in technology in sewing machines. At the same time, I kind of feel that everything is a little bit behind the curve. It almost seems like we're still receiving merchandise from 2020, maybe. I don't know why I feel that way. It just kind of seems like we're still sitting on old stock rather than getting new items in. I may be wrong, but who knows? I am on the East Coast of the United States. Um, and you're in Houston. Wonderful. Great. I'm not much of a talker, so I'm not going to stay on here very, very long. I really did not plan on even getting online tonight, but I thought that I would just rant and speak about some of the things that I have been thinking about over the past couple of days since I received that message from YouTube. As far as updated videos are concerned, I am looking towards doing a lot more content, and I actually have a lot more content in progress that I'm currently working on. Hopefully, those things will be coming out at the beginning of the year, so do stay tuned. And I thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a very short live stream, but hopefully, there'll be some more in the near future. So, guys, I'm going to log off of here and take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.